Hi YouTube, welcome back to Wtf Rc Cars. So this is a speed control I use quite a lot of. The sort of Tamiya class that we're racing, you've got to have an ESC that can have reverse disabled because you're not allowed reverse in the racing classes. Now some of the black finned ESCs that come with the Tamiya kits are proper 1060 ESCs, you're allowed to run them. The red finned ones, you can't disable reverse on them. I don't know why. They've got car mode, which is forward, brake and reverse. Then they have boat mode that just seems to work as forward, brake and reverse. And they have crawler mode, just forward and back. But when you put the pin in the center position, it should disable reverse and it doesn't do anything on them. So you're not allowed to use them. So we tend to swap them out for these. Now, they're around about £20-ish in UK, but you can get two different versions as well. I tend to get the one that comes with the Dean's T connector. I believe they also do one with an XT60 on it. But I'm going to show you what you get in box, so at least you know what to expect with these. So, let's bring you in for a close-up look and show you what you get. So this is the Hobbywing QUICRUN 1060 ESC. I believe the full part number is WP 1060. I'll just quickly check that for you. Yeah, so it's a QUICRUN WP 1060 brushed SBEC it says, and this says T-plug, so you know it comes with the Dean's plug. There are 60 amp ESC brushed, and they come with separate switch. So let's get this open quickly and show you what you get in box. So we get the speed controller itself, and on this one you can see you've got LiPo or NIM on this bottom pin. So if we just take that out and I move this across and have it set on LiPo because that's what I run, and then the next pin up, if you have it, so if you have it connecting the first two pins, you get forward, brake, reverse. If you have it connecting the last two pins, you get forward and brake only. And if you have no pin in whatsoever, like we've got here, you get forward and then straight into reverse. So I have it set up connected on the last two pins. And then you've got the bullet connectors and the Dean style T connector. And I really do like these because although you've got a nice flat side with two screw holes, you can just mount them to the side of the ESC, which on most of my cars, it does work out really well. And you've just got a nice tidy speed controller. Now, also in the box, we get a little tiny 3M tape already cut out for the switch, so you can stick your switch on. You get two pieces of heat shrink in case you need to do any alterations to the plug or anything like that, and you get a nice big square of 3M tape for sticking the speed controller down, and it does work quite well. You also get a couple of tie wraps in here, or zip ties, and you get a nice Hobbywing sticker sheet, which you don't seem to get with some of the more expensive ESCs. They seem to have stopped doing that. If we just quickly bring the instructions up, I'll take you through a few at specs. So we have the 1060 will be 60 amp constant and 360 amp peak, and then reverse you've got 30 amp and 180 amp. Says it's good for 2 to 3S LiPo and 5 to 9 cell NIM. 1/10 touring cars, trucks, buggies, short cross, monster trucks, rock crawlers and tanks. Motor size, we have a 550 or 540 size motor running on 2S or 6 cell NIM. You need to use greater than a 12 turn or 30,000 RPM. Less than 30,000 RPM, sorry. And if you're running on 3S LiPo or 9 cell NIM, then you're going to be restricted to a 540 or a 550 motor greater than 18 turn and a 20,000 RPM limit. It does tell you a bit about setting the actual throttle range up. So turn on the transmitter, set parameters on the throttle, so set your dual rate, endpoints and everything, make sure everything's on 0, and then set the throttle trim to 0. Adjust it to make sure it's in neutral, set your forward or reverse first, and then disable ABS. It says they strongly advise you to use a failsafe, and then to calibrate throttle range, turn on the ESC, set the throttle stick to neutral, wait 3 seconds for it to complete, throttle range is self-calibrated. So it beeps and emits sounds if self-calibration passes successfully. So you do get beeps on this ESC, so 1 short beep, battery's NIM, 2 short beeps, 2S LiPo, 3 short beeps, 3S LiPo. It does say 4 short beeps, but I think that is for one of the other ESCs that this instructions covers, because the 1060 can only go up to 3S. 1 long beep, self-test, throttle range calibrated, and ESC is ready to run. And then your LED status, so when the throttle stick is in neutral, red LED is off. Partial forward or partial brake, LED blinks. Full throttle or full brake, you get a solid LED, so you know it's working properly. And it does give you an explanation, what I've already gone through, of where the pins go. So there is a few protection features on it. It will cut off on 2S LiPo when the voltage is below 6.5 volt, so you'll get half power. And when voltage is lower than 6 volts total, it'll cut off completely. 3S LiPo, when it's at 9.75 volt, you'll get to half power, and 9 volt will cut off completely. And then on 5 to 9 cell NIM, when voltage is below 4.5 volt, the output will be halved. When it reaches 4 volt, it'll cut off completely. But it's a nice basic speed controller, and as I say, it's almost all the stock Tamiya classes will require you to run a ESC with reverse that can be disabled. But let's wrap this one up. So there we have it, the Hobbywing QUICRUN 1060 brush ESC. They are really useful, they're really cheap, extremely reliable. The only way I've seen one of these get damaged is by people plugging batteries in the wrong way around, which toasts them straight away. But around about the £20 mark, nice and handy to have an extra one and just chuck it in your bag with the rest of your RC stuff, just in case something happens when you're at track. This one is from RD Models, and I will leave the link in the description below. So anybody in the UK, nice and convenient to get them from. The black heat-sinked one that comes with some of the Tamiya kits, that one works exactly the same as this, so you are allowed to use that at most of the race meets that I've been to. The red one that comes with the Tamiya kits doesn't work the same. You can't disable reverse, so most places won't allow you to run it, but at £20, they're not really an expensive bit to swap out. And you do get to choose the actual battery connector on it, and it's nice that it comes with a heat shrink to let you reheat shrink the cables if you do have to change the plug. But thanks again for watching Wtf Rc Cars. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, share to friends and family, and catch you guys again in the next one.